Hello everyone. Today we're going to be solving Leetcode Problem 206, which is reversing a linked list. In this video we will solve this problem with an iterative solution, and in the next video we will solve it with a recursive solution. Now before I get to any coding, I just want to explain how to solve this problem with a diagram. So in this diagram, we have a sample linked list where the first node, highlighted in green, is the head, and each arrow represents a path from one node to the next node. In order to reverse this linked list, we will need 3 pointers. First pointer is previous, which will always be before current. But since current is at the first node, we initialize previous to null. The second pointer we will be using is current, which is just going to traverse the linked list and change the path between nodes as it traverses the list. Lastly, we will need a temp pointer, which allows us to go to the next node even after the path to the next node, represented by the arrows, has been broken. You'll see this in a minute. So the first step is to take the path from the first node to the second node, which is current's next value, and set it to previous, which is null at this point. Next, we will just move previous to current, and we will move current to temp. So we needed this temp because we broke this link. So after breaking this link, we're able to move to the next node because of the temp pointer. So now that we've reversed the first node, we're going to continue this process by setting temp to be current's next, and then taking current's next value, setting it to previous, and then moving previous to current, current to temp, and temp to current's next. Now we will reverse node 3 with the same process by taking current's next value, setting it to previous, moving previous to current, moving current to temp, and then moving temp to current's next value. Now we will reverse node 4 with the same process. And now we will reverse node 5 with the same process. So now node 5 is the new head of the reversed linked list, which means that previous will be the return value of our function for reversing the linked list. Current and temp will be set to null. Setting current to null will be breaking the while loop that we will be using in our iterative solution. Alright, so now that we understand how to solve the problem conceptually, let's write out the solution in code. So the first thing we're going to want to do is account for edge cases. So there are 2 edge cases to consider. The first is that we could have an empty list that we're supposed to reverse, or we could have a list with one node that we're supposed to reverse. So let's start with the first edge case. So let's say if head is strictly equal to a null pointer, we're going to return head. Now let's account for the second edge case, else if heads next is a null pointer. We're going to want to also just return head. This part will just return a null pointer, this will return the one single node. Now, if we have a linked list with multiple nodes, we're going to want to traverse the list with a while loop. So while current is not equal to null pointer, we're going to want to set current next to previous. Then we're going to want to set previous to current. And we're going to want to set current to temp. And we also have to make sure that we save temp before we do any of this. Current next. And we also have to make sure to define all of these variables, so let's do that here. So list node current is initialized to head, list node previous is initialized to a null pointer, and that should cover everything. And now we're going to just return previous. We just make sure all this makes sense. Let me clean this up. And now if I run this, it should hopefully pass the test cases. And if I submit it, it should pass. Yep. Alright, so that is the final solution to this problem. If this video helped you, please make sure to like and subscribe. And if you have any questions or suggestions, please leave a comment down below. Thanks.